Welcome to this special edition of Women in Islam. With me today is the Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Dr. Naledi Pandor. Minister, welcome back.
Thank you.
Minister, we were talking about women and the Quran and the equality of women. I wanted to also find out from you, as women, do you think that we should be doing more locally and globally?
Well, I certainly do. One of the things I worry about is that we are not, as South Africans, using our experience of activism to be far more vocal about the plight of the people of Palestine. And as Muslim women, it may be necessary for us to think about how we might be able to connect more with women in Palestine and be of support to them in a very difficult struggle. I also think there are women in Sudan that need support from us as South Africans. We should be working closely together with them. I say this because I think South African women leaders in the Muslim community have been exemplary in the way that they've played a role within the South African political spectrum. I'm thinking of women such as Amina Kachalia, Rahima Musa. I'm thinking of Farida Omar, who continues to be an activist even today. I'm thinking of women like Amina Mohammed, who's the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. She's a Nigerian by background, but is a global leader. So indeed, Fasiha Hassan, who's a young woman, emerging leader in the Gauteng legislature, the youngest member of the provincial legislature. So certainly locally we should be connecting, but I believe globally we could be impactful, given the fact that we enjoy democracy in South Africa, we enjoy freedom of religion. Many of our women in the Muslim community are educated, and we have the ability to organize. So I do think we certainly could make a great impact should we use our place and presence more effectively.
Sure. Very inspiring, and inshallah we hope we get more young leaders like the ones mentioned today, inshallah. Minister, during your tenure, have you ever found yourself spending time outside of the country during Ramadan?
Yes, many times, many times. And, you know, there's that challenge. I want to keep up my days because I want to be in step with everybody at home.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I speak to various of our mulana and our leaders, our ulama, and they tell me, when you're traveling, you know, alhamdulillah, you could relax, but you always feel, no, I want to keep up. And if you're in a non-Muslim country, it can be very difficult. But I want to share with the viewers that,
Yes.
alhamdulillah, one of the things that has happened wherever I've been, I have found a Muslim. It's so funny. And they have been the ones who have helped me to keep up with the practice of Ramadan, even while I travel. I was in Italy last year during Ramadan, and there was a brother from Egypt working in the guest house I was staying in, and he made sure that I had everything prepared, that at 4 a.m. he would bring something to my room. And they were so excited, you know, that there was a Muslim who's a minister from Africa in this little village in Italy. So everywhere you find someone. One time with my team, we were in Paris at UNESCO when I was Minister of Education, and it was Ramadan again, and we were wondering what we would eat, where we would go. And alhamdulillah, one of my officials, Khalib Jepi, who's also Muslim, found a Turkish restaurant that was prepared for us to have iftar there every day. So yes, I've had many occasions Also the occasions when you're in a country where it's very difficult to get halal food, and so your stock diet is vegetable soup, and that's what you live with.
It's fortunate, alhamdulillah, that you've been blessed. There is always somebody around to help you.
So
Alhamdulillah. Shukr Allah. Minister, with regards to that, do you think that there's a lot of awareness that still needs to be done globally in terms of Islam?
Yes, I do. We are a very large ummah, but I think we've faced a great deal of prejudice, as you know, particularly from the north. So I do think there needs to be much more engagement, much more education. But I do see that our leaders are reaching out to the world. The work, for example, being done by Ibrahim Rasool and many others to connect with our community in the United States, in Europe. Recently, they were in Turkey having excellent seminars and really debating the issues that are relevant to our religion and our relationship with the rest of the world. So we are out there, and we are seeing a much more, an increasing balanced approach to our religion and, our standing in society. But of course, that we face a great deal of prejudice. Especially many women are not given the rights that they should in some countries. You've had the rulings about the hijab in France, for example. But what is wonderful is I should share with the viewers that many governments in the Gulf countries, which are Islamic, have begun to regard South Africa as a country in which Muslims enjoy freedom. And so they're sending their young people to study in our universities because we don't interfere with people. We don't have the prejudice that they've experienced either in the United States or in different countries in Europe. So, we say, alhamdulillah, that South Africans really respect their constitution, and in our conduct toward Muslims, we enjoy a very wonderful society, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, we are blessed that our country has been able to make such bright openings for other young people around the world. And, it's so blessed to be able to say that, I'm proud to be a South African where we are inviting so many youngsters into the country. And there's something I'd also like to ask you. You mentioned about ministers and Ibrahim Rasool, making headway out there, trying to promote Islam, for the peace and loving religion that it is. Do you think that our Muslim men and women should do more out there in, promoting Islam?
I certainly think so. I think there's a great deal of work for us to do in South Africa because we've tended in South Africa to allow an image to exist that Islam is a religion for Indian people and is exclusive to them. And we've not really engaged the broader community, particularly African people in South Africa. It's happening more, and I see a lot of young people are doing very good dawah work, and this is excellent because I think through the lessons of our religion, young people would learn to be more enterprising. They certainly would, if they develop the respect that Islam inculcates, they'll keep away from negative practices such as use of drugs, alcohol, engaging in crime, and so on. I think what Islam does is imbue you with a very positive spirit and a sense of self that is, more optimistic and more enterprising about doing well in life. So I do believe we should reach out to broader communities in South Africa. And I admire the work being done by young people such as Molana Abdullah from Lenasia, is doing a lot of good work in Pretoria with young people here. And, we need to see more of that. And really, the universal principles of Islam must be communicated and shared.
True, correct. And Minister, before we end our conversation, could you share with the women out there some tips and some life lessons on taking us forward during Ramadan and beyond Ramadan?
Well, I think really the wonderful part of Ramadan is time with family. There's no nicer period than when you sit together either at iftar or in sehri in the morning, and then when you make salah together, your maghrib salah. It's always wonderful. So I think for me, it's a bonding opportunity, but also it's to refresh your knowledge and understanding of the religion. And of course, it's also a time for lovely tastes. I always enjoy that, as said before, that crisp sound of breaking into a samosa. It's just, the nicest sound that, one remembers with respect to Ramadan. So it's, enjoy, be calm, don't feel under pressure. I think Ramadan is not meant to be a test. It's meant for you to show your closeness to the Almighty and not to be under stress. I think we should all accept that if you're not well and it's difficult, then, you are accepted to behave as is required by your doctor should you be sick. So it's a time, yes, certainly of spirituality, but also of closeness to the Ummah, closeness to the family, and of course, closeness to the Almighty.
Alhamdulillah. Minister, in terms of Eid this year, where will you be spending?
Well, my husband's cousin has invited us. She likes to control us during Eid and, be the one to draw all the family together. So we're going to be quite a big group with her in-laws. My own daughter-in-law, my grandson, my daughter is coming from Cape Town. So we'll all be in Johannesburg at the home of Nazreen, my husband's cousin.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, Minister. It's so nice to hear from Minister Naledi Pandor, who is explaining to us about family and bonding and connecting during this time of Ramadan. And there's no need to rush. I tend to find that I personally try to rush also to get through to the day. And I'm sure there's a lot of women that would resonate that also rush. And, we need to just take a step back and breathe and listen to what Minister Naledi Pandor has explained to us, just to bond with our family and just take it easy, inshallah. Thank you so much for joining us on Women in Islam and wishing you a blessed day.
Shukran and Jazakallah for inviting me. And I wish everybody Ramadan Kareem. And I hope that it will be a wonderful and blessed month for all of them.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, Minister, for joining us today.